COVID-19 has shaken the entire world. A lot of businesses are shut down. Many people have lost their jobs. Nobody had imagined this situation before. But every calamity teaches us a lesson. And today, I want to discuss one of the biggest lessons from this calamity. Hi, my name is Sahil and this is my Personal Finance Academy where I explain money management which even a layman can understand. Let me share with you a recent story. One of my friends was working in Bangalore as a business development manager for a travel company. He recently purchased a house and paying a monthly EMI of Rs 35,000. Everything was going good, but COVID-19 has turned his world upside down. Travel sector got badly impacted and he was fired from his job. He had no savings. He invested some of the money in mutual fund for long-term goals, but they were all in negative due to the recent fall in the market. But he had no option. He had to take care of his monthly expenses. So eventually, he ended up withdrawing money from mutual fund at a loss. In another case, Jet Airways was shut down and employees were jobless. One of the employees confessed, "I feel like my hands are tied and I can't sleep at night. I haven't told my children anything. They are very young, but they know something is wrong." In another case, one of the employees said, "I am listed as a defaulter in my community for failing to meet the building maintenance fee payment. It is a huge stigma for my family." There is one more confession. We have stopped going out for movies, to restaurant or any other form of entertainment, said a Jet Airways employee who is self-tutoring his children after he cancelled the private tuitions. Do you know what was their mistake? They did not create an emergency fund. So what is an emergency fund? It is an amount that is kept aside to take care of the financial requirement in case of an emergency like job loss or unexpected expenses, so that you don't have to worry about your EMI payments, rent payment or children education. A lot of people in India make this mistake where they don't keep emergency fund, and when they require money during emergency, they either end up breaking their investments or end up borrowing money from their friends or relative. Hence, one of the biggest lessons from COVID-19 is to create an emergency fund. How much money you should keep in emergency fund? It should cover your monthly expense of 6 to 9 months. Now the next question is, how to build an emergency fund? The most important criteria to consider while building an emergency fund is liquidity. Your money should be easily accessible at the time of emergency. A lot of people keep money in saving account. I have already explained in my previous video why keeping money in saving account is a mistake. There are a few banks which are giving high return on saving account. For example, IDFC First Bank is giving an interest rate of 6% on a balance of less than 1 lakh rupee. And if the balance is more than 1 lakh, then the interest rate is 7%. But the problem is, since it is a new bank, it is trying to lure customers by offering high interest rate. And maybe in future it might reduce its interest rate. Moreover, it becomes very cumbersome to open an account every time to fetch a high interest rate. There is another problem, the problem of risk. Recently, we have come across the PMC bank scam. A lot of people kept their lifetime of savings and they became helpless. Some people needed money for their children's marriage, some people needed money for their medical expenses. It was their hard-earned money, yet they could not withdraw their own money. It even happened with Yes Bank for a brief period. This is another lesson for a common man. Do not just keep money in a bank just for the sake of high interest. There are many small banks and cooperative banks trying to attract customers with high interest. I would suggest opting for a bigger bank and always maintain at least 2 accounts. Next important point to consider before opening an account is to check if the bank is covered under deposit insurance scheme. In this scheme, your deposit up to 5 lakhs is insured. So in case the bank goes bankrupt in future, your money up to 5 lakh is safe. So one of the options to build an emergency fund is fixed deposit. But the problem is that over the period of time, the FD rates have decreased continuously. Currently, it is in the range of 5 to 7%. Let's look at the banks with highest FD rate. So these are the best fixed deposit rates by retail banks in India. You can see on top you have DCB Bank offering 7.35% for regular individual. Then you have IDFC First Bank offering 7.25%, Yes Bank offering 7.25%, RBL Bank offering 7.5%, IndusInd Bank offering 7%. But you can see that they have a deposit tenure. For example, DCB Bank has a deposit tenure of 36 months to 120 months. IDFC First has a deposit tenure of 1 year to 10 year. It means that if you want to make an FD of 1 year, then your interest rate would vary. On bottom you can see best FD offers from small finance banks in India. You have Fincare Small Finance Bank offering 7.6%, Suryodaya Small Finance Bank offering 9%, Jana Small Finance Bank offering 8%, Utkarsh Small Finance Bank offering 9%, but again they have a long deposit tenure and they are all small finance bank. You would notice that there is no big bank in the list. After the PMC Bank scam and the Yes Bank fiasco, I would suggest taking caution while keeping money in a bank. Moreover, after the COVID-19 situation, the NPAs of bank are going to increase. Hence, do not get lured just by high interest rate. One of the disadvantages with FD is taxation. The interest from FD is taxed every year as per your income tax slab. So if you fall under 30% tax bracket, then let's say if you are getting an interest of 7% on FD, then your effective interest after tax would be just 4.9%. And if you are getting an interest of 6% on your FD, then your effective interest after tax would be just 4.2%. Moreover, there is an exit load on premature withdrawal from FD. I personally like to keep my money for emergency purpose in liquid funds. What is a liquid fund? It is a debt mutual fund with a very low risk. The returns are around 6%. Let's look at some of the top liquid funds and their return rate. To identify the list of liquid fund, just open Money Control website. Here you have a section of mutual funds. Just click on that. If you scroll down, you will see an option of debt short term. Just click on that. If you scroll down, there is an option of liquid fund. Just click on that. Now you can see the entire list of liquid funds. So these are the various schemes offering liquid fund. You can see this is a long list. You can sort this list by asset under management. So just click on that. You can see that HDFC Liquid Fund has the highest asset under management, which is 1.1 lakh crore. This is followed with SBI Liquid Fund and ICICI Prudential Liquid Fund. Here you can see the 1 year return of these liquid funds. It is in the range of 5.5%. If you look at the average 2 year return, it is in the range of 6.5%. One thing you can notice here is the returns are all positive. So even after the current market fall, the return from liquid fund is positive. There are some liquid funds like Axis Liquid Fund with an instant redemption up to 50,000. So you can get rupees 50,000 instantly in your account per day. Anything more than 50,000 rupees would be redeemed within 1 to 2 working days. One of the advantage with liquid fund is there is no exit load. If we talk about taxation, then tax on liquid fund is calculated as per income tax slab if the withdrawal is made within 3 years. So that's same as FD. However, if the withdrawal is after 3 years, then the tax is 20% with indexation benefit, which result in an effective tax of 15 to 18%. So if you fall under 30% tax bracket, then your effective return post-tax would be much better in liquid fund as compared to FD. There are a lot of other debt funds that can give higher return than your liquid fund. For example, money market fund gives a return of around 8%. Banking and PSU debt fund gives a return in the range of 8 to 10%. But as the return increases, volatility increases. And you should not keep emergency fund in a volatile debt fund. I'll create a separate video in the future explaining the different type of debt mutual fund. Now ask yourself, do you have enough money to take care of your emergency expenses? If not, then please start building an emergency fund of 6 to 9 months of your monthly expense. There's a lot more informative content in the future. So if you don't want to miss any content in the future, do subscribe to this channel. Also let me know which financial topic you want me to cover in the future.